What's up? So is it actually worth it to spend a lot of money to buy the Apple Mac Studio? I actually have it for some time now in my home office and I've used it every single day. And that's why I want to talk about some reasons why you should or shouldn't buy the Mac Studio. So if you don't know if you should buy one, this is the video for you. And first let's start with the most common reason to buy a new Mac. You need an upgrade. I personally had a good old 2014 5K iMac and this one was my main computer for a long period of time. In my opinion, the iMac is still one of the best all-in-one machines that you can buy. You just buy one of them and you're ready to go. But especially if you have one of the older versions, you will notice that there's a huge difference between those and the M1 Macs. The new Macs are insanely fast and they are perfect for a variety of things, including photo and video productions. I mean, for sure the good old 5K iMac was a great and fast computer, including a really nice 5K screen, but of course it started to cause some problems, especially in the video and photo post-production. So especially if you work with heavy codecs from newer cameras like the Canon R5 as an example, it is really hard to edit the footage on an old iMac because it was just too much data and new codec files that this iMac couldn't handle properly. In my case, it simply wasn't possible to watch or edit footage without missing frames, so that alone slows your whole workflow down and makes it way harder for you to get things done. I actually tried to get used to it, but after some time it just got annoying, and especially if you want to get things done, it just holds you back all the time. And that's why I decided to upgrade my computer. So yeah, especially these kind of problems are a great reason why you should buy a new Mac Studio for your professional work, because now I don't have to worry about all kind of things anymore. The Mac Studio that I got can handle bigger video projects, all kind of photo post productions, and if you work with audio a lot, you will have no problems here at all. Another great reason why you should buy a Mac Studio is that you don't need to buy any special upgrades for it. I personally got the one with the M1 Max chip, so yeah, not the M1 Ultra, including a 10-core CPU, 24-core GPU, 64GB of RAM and a 4TB SSD. This is by far not the cheapest option, but for me exactly the one that I need. All kind of apps like Final Cut, Logic, Photoshop or Lightroom, including a variety of plugins, are running smoothly on my Mac Studio, and that's what I need. This Mac is built for productivity and getting things done, especially in combination with the Studio display. The whole setup is just amazing. Of course, if you also like the minimalistic Apple design, that's another reason why you should get one, because the Mac Studio is just a tiny box that looks like the older brother of the Mac Mini. But let's quickly talk about the M1 Max chip. I personally got the M1 Max chip and not the M1 Ultra because in my opinion it's not worth it to spend €1600 more for this chip that you mostly won't need at all. Because everything that I mostly do, so photo and video editing and sometimes some audio productions, are already super smooth with the M1 Max chip. Everything runs smoothly. I can even slap those 8K files of the Canon R5 in my Final Cut timeline, and of course photo editing in Lightroom and Photoshop is great too. So yeah, in the end it is way easier now to get my video and photo productions done, and as I already mentioned, the Mac Studio is super fast and it supports all kind of apps that I use to make it as easy as possible for me to get started. I also really like the fact that there are a variety of USB ports and a SD card slot as well, so you don't have to use a lot of adapters all the time. And yes, if you also have the Apple Studio display, you get some more ports too. Another thing that I did was to get the 64GB RAM option because you can't upgrade the RAM later on. And I definitely want to use the Mac Studio for a long period of time, so that's why I think it's the best option to get 64GB of RAM here to be sure that everything is fine. And on top I also got the 4TB SSD because I have a couple of things installed on my computer and I definitely want to have enough internal storage next to my external hard drives. So that's why I've invested some more money into certain parts to be sure that I can use it now for the next couple of years without having any major issues. So a great reason to buy the Mac Studio is if you want to have a future-proof Mac that won't cause any issues in the next couple of years. So yeah, all in all, if you work in the creative space, I can highly recommend the Mac Studio. If you need a reliable computer that can handle a variety of things, including high-end photo and video productions, you can easily buy a Mac Studio and you won't have any huge issues here. It basically fixes all the problems that I had with my old 5K iMac, so especially if you still have an older Mac at home, it's another great reason to get one. But if you don't work a lot with crazy video codecs, for example, a Mac Studio is basically overkill. In my opinion, this computer is made for everyone who needs a really good Mac for professional work and to get things done faster. In all kind of other cases, you can easily buy an entry-level M1 iMac or Mac Mini and you're set. Because yeah, otherwise you will waste a lot of money for a computer that you don't really need. Another reason why you shouldn't buy the Mac Studio is if you don't work a lot in the home office. In this case, I can highly recommend to get a MacBook Pro instead, because this is the more versatile option for on-the-go editing. But yeah, these are a couple of reasons why you should or shouldn't buy the Mac Studio. Do you have one at home? Write it down in the comments. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.